Did you just hear what Miloš said about you?
No, I was standing too far away.
The greatest player in your position in the game, and how do you take that?
He's definitely lying. Obviously, Miloš is a fantastic player. What he's done for the league over the last 10 years is pretty special. And to play with him was great as well. Obviously, playing against him before I came to Sydney was it's always tough. And then I signed at Sydney, and he still seemed to embarrass me a couple of times at training. But yeah, he's a special player, and if you can play at his age in a competition like the A-League, you got something special. So yeah, I know he didn't say that, but it's I'll dream of that though.
And you've got a few years left now, obviously.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
Are you happy to be playing this one? I think you missed the last one with suspension. Stoked to be playing this derby.
Yeah, the last one was fantastic. I was in the box, and yeah, it was unbelievable to watch. The boys were fantastic, and if you could guarantee me that result again, I'd say okay, I won't play again. But yeah, I'm happy to be involved. As a player, you want to play in the biggest games, and this is definitely one of them. So yeah, it's going to be a special night.
Happy that the RBB will be back?
Yeah, of course. They bring a lot to the league, and they add a lot to the atmosphere. I think our fans have been fantastic all year, and yeah, you never want to see what happens go on, because fans are a big part of football. They're important to us, and you look at all around the world, and they make football special. It's no different here. Without the fans, the game wouldn't be what it is. So it's great to have them here, and I think that there's only a few tickets left. So the more people that turn up, the better.
How big of a miss for Robbie McAfee this weekend?
Yeah, big. He's a great player. He's done great things for us this year, and he always seems to step up in the big games. So he's a big miss, and as well as Jakey and Geordie being away. I think those two have been arguably two of our best this year. For their age, they've done great this year, and we've got the depth to cover them. They're three big losses, but I think we'll deal with it.
We got here early and saw Jack Rodwell out there getting the photo with Miloš. Do you have insider info? Does that mean he's playing, or we see Laseta playing?
I have the same knowledge as you.
Just check.
How do you go about correcting the home form in this fixture? Because it seemingly is seesaw from the away team being the tourist one for this fixture of late. What causes that, and then how can we kind of turn that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a strange one. You think at home, home form is very important. I think with derbies, they're crazy games. They're not always the best football games, but the emotion attached to it, and the energy, anything can happen really. So we're not really thinking about home form or what's happened in the previous games. We know that we need to do what Uffy wants us to do. We got a certain style of play that I think if we execute the way we want to play, and our identity going forward, then I think the results will take care of itself, and we've proven that before. So it's not necessarily something we're thinking about. You need to execute the game plan and worry about yourself. And like I said, derbies are special. Anything can happen.
You called it after the game against Newcastle. You thought you had an idea of why that situation involving Robbie occurred. Proved to be the case that it was in fact kind of orchestrated, that time slowing down from Kankar was the reason the altercation happened. The fact that in that red card, having seen it back, I'm sure it wasn't rescinded and still stands. How much of a frustration is that?
I thought we're done talking about that, but it is frustrating because they didn't even go to VR to look at it. The fourth official told the referee that he hit him and it was a red card, and the fourth official was standing 2 metres from Robbie Stanton when he told Phil to start something. So it's a hard one to take because like I said, after the game I saw it happening. I heard what was said. I said to the referee, go and sort it out before anything happens, and he didn't. And even looking back at it, I still don't think it's a red card. I think he's got his hands in his face and he's looking away and gone like that, and he's brushed his beard a tiny little bit. And it's hard because, you know, as footballers we cop so much slack for acting like that, and a lot of people that I speak to don't watch football anymore because of things like that. So you look in the other game, Risdon got worse and didn't fall over, and, you know, nothing happened. Obviously later on something happened because it was talked about. If Robbie doesn't get sent off, then I don't think that happens to Uli and MacArthur. So yeah, it's frustrating as players because, and I think for fans as well, because you want your best players playing. Having said that, you know, we've got to understand that these decisions happen and not put ourselves in that position. So it's frustrating, but, you know, it's part of the game, and yeah, it is what it is.
You turn your attention back to this weekend. I don't know if you would have seen this. There was a survey done recently about derbies around the world and where this ranks in terms of certain metrics, and including things like the North London derby. Although it's not technically a derby, Liverpool, Manchester United, those sort of games. The Sydney derby comes out the top in most duels contested. Does that speak to just how competitive this fixture is once that was done?
Yeah. Like I said before, there's so much emotion and attached to the game, and, you know, the club means so much to me, and to represent them in a derby is huge, and you want to give it your all, and that's why they're not always the prettiest football matches, as in like playing football and tactics and stuff like that can be decided in one moment, really. And I've watched derbies all around the world. You know, I was in Manchester for a while, so I saw 3 or 4 of them, and they're very intense. But tactically, they play football as well. So I think, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that the stats say that. But that's the beauty of it, really. You know, no one wants to lose a derby, and, you know, it means so much to the players and the staff and the fans that, you know, you give your all, and it's usually pretty much like war. It's like, you know, you're putting your body on the line in every moment. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me, really.
I know Robbie Max was a different situation, but there has been quite a number. It's 5 red cards that the team has suffered in the first halves alone this season. Is it an issue? Is it something that's been discussed by OFI, by the senior players in the league this week?
Not really, no. Looking back at them, you know, the Woody one away is never a red card. The referees said a couple of weeks later, oh, yeah, we don't think it's a red card. The Redders one here, ball's going out of play, doesn't really hit his hand, like, never a red card. The Jakey one here, VAR, you slow everything down, you know, you can't really touch anyone in a tackle now, and, you know, it's taken away the art of tackling and football. You know, I learnt to, growing up, to tackle, you get the ball and you get the player, you know, like, that's part of football. And then, yeah, the one in Perth, same. You know, if Tags takes his touch into the box, I think, yeah, it's a red card, but the ball completely misses him and they both fall over. So, and then, you know what I think about the Robbie one. So if they were clear red cards, you know, I think we'd be having conversations about discipline, you know. But yeah, we expect that now. You know, the coaches make bad decisions at training when they're reffing games, so we're prepared for the weekend. But yeah, it's part of the game, and there hasn't been too many discussions about that.
So coaches, can you just expand on that? So the coaches making decisions that might roll you up in practice games in order for you to try and practice and keep your tempo. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Western Sydney's top 6 spot isn't exactly locked away. They've got City breathing down their neck. Is that, I guess, knocking them out of finals, is that another incentive for you guys this weekend?
Not really. I think we're on the same points as them, or they're a point ahead. Sorry. So it's a must-win for us. You know, our finals aren't secured either. We want to finish as high as we can on the table. Yeah, we're solely thinking about ourselves and getting maximum points for the last 3 games. You know, we want a home final. We want to play in front of our fans as much as possible, and yeah, they've got a tough run in. but there's no real easy game in the league at the moment, as you've seen this year. And I think, like I said before, if we concentrate on our game plan and focus on ourselves, then we're not really thinking about what they're doing in the next 3 games or final series. Yeah, it's all about us.